Delighted to welcome back the brilliant Errol Musk. How are you, Errol?
I'm well, thank you.
It's really good. What I loved is in the gallery they were telling you to move to the right far more. I'm sure that was politically. It's got to be good. But for those of you who don't know, Errol Musk is a retired South African engineer, politician, and businessman. He's the father of somebody called Elon Musk. Never heard of him. Who is a businessman and investor known for his key roles in things like SpaceX and Tesla, and other involvements include things like the X Corporation, previously Twitter, and the company that operates social media platforms. Very, very key to our today's discussion. But he also is founding of things like the Boring Company, XAI, Neuralink, and OpenAI. He's reportedly one of the world's wealthiest individuals, I'm sure he is, and in August 2024, Forbes estimates his net worth to be 241 billion, which is why Errol can afford the Miro behind him. We always love that on that sort of principle. What I love about this program, and firstly, I'm so pleased that Errol's come back, because Errol's now going to be a regular here on the Muckrakers with me, Andrew Eborn, and various others. And what I do, I basically go through the internet and look at all these ridiculous claims that are sometimes made. And the great thing about this program is our quest is for the truth. And one of the claims is about this wonderful emerald mine. And basically, the claim that basically Errol started Elon's career with money from that emerald mine. Did you own a mine, and did that start his career, Errol? What's the truth?
The truth is, I had a very big aircraft in the mid-'80s. South Africa, after the speech that the Prime Minister gave about never allowing a black government in '85, South Africa took a terrible dive down economically. And I had a very large aircraft, private aircraft, business twin, and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have any more charter work for it. It was expensive to maintain, so I decided I found a company in England. They said they'd buy it from me if I brought it there to have full de-icing. And on the way there, we were turned back at Jeddah because they were having an Eid sort of a holiday, and they asked us. They said if we come in, we're going to have to pay $2,000 to land and $600 a day to park. So we said, no, well, we'll turn back. And so I went to Lake Tanganyika to have a look at it. And there was a company there from Panama who were building a runway, in fact, which is today a holiday resort on the banks of Lake Tanganyika. And they saw the plane, and I told them what I was doing with it. And they said, no, we'll buy it. So they offered me the cash right there and then. And I said, okay, great. So then they bought the plane. And then they said to me, are you interested in, if you give us half the money back, we'll give you, they gave me a fantastic price for it. And they said, if you give us half the money back, you can have a half share in our emerald deposits. So I said, they showed me over 100 emeralds, which I could have immediately, cut emeralds. And I said, well, why not? And so I got into it, and I was dealt in emeralds for the next 5 years from that source. And of course, from all sorts of people later who would come to me with, you get into the business, eventually people start coming to you. And I had my own cutters working, and so it became quite a big business. But what it did do was enable us, where other people were moving to trailer parks and to caravan parks because they couldn't afford their homes anymore in South Africa, or getting out of the country by the million, by the hundreds of thousands. I mean, we were able to continue our life in the way we'd always had, and that was we could travel. The boys and I, Elon Kimmel and I, could travel extensively, and we did during that time, and we saw no change in our standard of living. And I sold emeralds all over the world. So by 1990, the Russians had brought out the Byron, which is an artificial emerald, and that soured the business somewhat. And I sort of got out of it at that point. But I would recommend to anyone to go into the jewelry business. It's a very good business to be in, and very interesting, very exciting.
Well, now that we have our newfound partnership, and as I say, you're a regular here on the Muckrakers with me, Andrew Eborn, one of the things I dug out, in addition to the Emerald story, was at 11:02 p.m. on the 12th of April, 2023, your son Elon said he would pay $1 million Dogecoins for proof of this mine's existence. Should we split the money?
Well, I was able to prove the mine's existence, but I didn't want to push Elon on that. So we were quite happy to just let it go, including the people. I'm still in touch with the people in Zambia at Lake Tanganyika. I'm still in touch with them. They still work there. In fact, the main people have sort of passed away, but I'm still in touch with the sons and everything. And, we don't want to push anybody on that. So let's just leave it, you know. But no, I did definitely. I didn't actually own a mine. I owned a share in a source of emeralds.
All right.
So I didn't. My name didn't appear on any documents. I simply received a parcel of rough every so often, you know.
Yeah.
But it was extremely nice, and I was absolutely amazed at the value. I would cut a stone and I would work it out to myself as having cost me perhaps £500, and then I would take to a jeweler. The jeweler would give me £5,000.
Good heavens!
Yes, and then the jeweler, I would think, well, what is the jeweler going to do with this? But he would sell it to the next person, and I then discovered that the markup by the jewelers varies between about 20 and 23% at times. So if it cost me £500, he's going to sell it for £10,000, £11,000.
Wow!
So he buys it from me. If I'm lucky, for £5,000, he might try £3,000 for me at first. But if I think it's a very good stone, I would keep it as I learned as I went along. But the jewelers I worked with, Piguet and all the big jewelers, they were incredibly good to me and very, very professional. There's no wheeler dealing or horrible wheeler dealing at the top. You know, no, it's very decent behavior.
It's very interesting. Fascinating stuff. And as I said, I present a series called Andrew Eborn's Fake or Fact. We now have the answer. Thank you very much for that, Errol. And it's what I love about this platform, as I say, is that this is a platform, get rid of all the misrepresentation that we have in the media.
Tracking global corruption and threats that undermine our security. This is the Muckrakers on today's News Talk, TNT. If you missed this hour, simply go to episodes at tntradio.live